Shortly after the release of Resident Evil 1, Capcom decided to make a sequel, Resident Evil 2. This would be directed by Capcom newcomer Hideki Kamiya. The real director of Resident Evil, Shinji Mikami, would return to this project in the role of the producer. In the development of Resident Evil 2, it had a prototype, aka Resident Evil 1.5. It really isn't any different from the original final build of Resident Evil 2. The only really big difference we have is Claire is replaced with Elza Walker. And if some of you did not know, Elza Walker is Claire's sister, I believe. Resident Evil 1.5 also had a very modern look for the RPD. Compare it to the original Resident Evil 2 RPD, it's quite different. Mikami and Kamiya had lots of disagreements on the direction of this game. Resident Evil 1.5 wasn't doing anything for Mikami. He thought the game's art assets and characters were fine, but he thought the gameplay and locations were very boring and dull. This led Mikami to take a more distant position in his producer role for Resident Evil 2. He did not want to influence the dev team directly, and he only requested monthly updates on the game's development. After reaching 60 to 80% completion, the current build of the game was scrapped due to a lack of quality. The dev team decided to recreate the whole thing from scratch. This would include most of the story events, characters, and the game's police station setting. Kamiya believed with his Hollywood film style, RE2 would be able to reach a better audience. But it wouldn't just be the story that would be improved. Every aspect of this title improves the game's mechanics, controls, and graphics. In the real Resident Evil. Resident Evil 2's gameplay is unchanged from its predecessor. The game still uses tank controls and fixed camera angles, and pre-rendered environments. But however, all of these things have been upgraded. Along with these bigger upgrades to the gameplay formula, a lot of small changes were added too, but if you add it all together, it's a pretty big improvement compared to the original Resident Evil. There would be little things like walking upstairs faster, in-game text moving at the speed of light, being able to swap grenade types for the grenade launcher, or zombies violently jerking back as you shoot them. It also makes for a more satisfying gameplay experience. The gameplay controls and animations feel much more polished this time around. The way the characters move, it feels more grounded. The first game's animations were kind of floaty looking. It was very, very noticeable. In Resident Evil 2, everything just looks and flows way better. A new feature introduced in Resident Evil 2 is the new feature called limping. Now when you take damage, your character will start limping around, letting you know that they're not doing so well. As you take more and more damage, your limping will get worse. It actually affects your moving speed too. This can make some encounters look really scary because now you cannot run away when you're limping. All the backgrounds in Resident Evil 2 have Dun City to them, and it makes it feel like a real place to me. And yeah, that's all I have to say for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe and like for more survival horror content and Resident Evil, and I'm out. Peace.